Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Hope and I make press-on gel nails. As you can see, I'm wearing gel nails right now. These are my cateye butterfly skull panda inspired nails, and if you're interested in seeing how I made these, it is my previous video. I'll leave it linked in the description for after this. But this video we're going to be doing a haul for all the recent gel nail products that I picked up. A couple of collections, but mainly nail art supplies, so like inks, powders, special effects gels like 3D gels, and some repurchases in there as well. Mainly from Sweet Nail Supply, but also from Cris Clay. If you have been following socials, then you'll know that Sweet Nail Supply had their 25% off summer sales. Thank you so much to anyone and everyone that used my code during the summer sale. I'll leave links to everything shown in this video in the description as always, along with any of my personal discount codes if you would like to support the channel. You can use code HOPE10 for 10% off at Sweet Nail Supply, but I also have a link tree in there, which excitedly I have added a discount code for Chrisanianerie, which is also HOPE10, which I'm super excited to share with you guys. If you like videos like this, then please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more gel nails content. I'm currently doing a wear test for the Clear Peel Off Base Coat with these nails, so I'll keep you updated on the progress of that in my next few videos, which should be another nail desk organization because you guys really loved the first one. Potentially an AliExpress haul as well, and I'm also currently designing my next nail set as well. I'm gonna stop yapping and let's go over into the haul. Okay guys, let's yap about some things. We're gonna be doing gels first. As you may have seen in my previous few videos, I have added 3 other collections since my last haul video, those being the Rozyhip Ultra Flash, Pocket Nudie Glaze, and DVOK Once in a Summer Season 3 collection. So if you're interested in seeing first impression swatches footage of those, I'll leave those linked in the description. I have 2 collections and some individuals to show you in this haul, so not too many, but the first of which I am so excited to share with you. It is the Rozyhip Quartz collection. If you've seen the promo photos for these look gorgeous. Full transparency, this has been sent to me as PR by Sweet Nail Supply to do an upcoming nail set with, and my thought process is Cat's Eye Monster High inspired. I'm still designing it, but I've been patiently waiting since yesterday to do a first impressions of these with you guys. As always, the Rozyhip box is so edgy and pretty, and I think Rozyhip are like a sister brand of DVOK, which I feel like explains a lot. Recently, they've been doing 12-piece collections, so you get 12 bottles. It also comes with a magnet, but I don't know if you can tell, this magnet is a little bit different to a normal bar magnet. It's like a bit thinner and wider. Oh my goodness me. Oh, the joy of magnets. They've snapped together, but you can see this, right? This one is slightly thinner, slightly shorter even. This way, okay, so they are about the same width and depth, but super interesting. I'll be very interested to see how this miniature magnet works because I have never really had much luck with using a standard bar magnet. It works okay, but I just prefer round magnets more. So the gels range from RM11 up to RM22. They're mostly blue, purple, green tones, but they've also thrown in some really interesting gold, orange, white tones as well. RM11. Ooh, oh, that's really interesting. You know, that kind of does remind me of like a jade tone. It looks a bit sea foamy and it has very light blue, minty green shimmer to it. Wow, that's super pretty. And this is an even closer shot of that. So you can really see those kind of like minty jewel tones. I'm really hoping you can see that in the cat eye. I could see that being really nice for like winter sets as well. RM12, so this is, as you can tell by the bottle, a bit more of a orangey tone. Okay. It has like a golden yellow shift to it. It's not like a pure orange. These mixes in this collection are so unique. Like, it definitely is giving gemstones. RM13, this is one that I'm very excited to see. We're verging into the lilacs now, as you know. Green and purple are my favorite colors. And honestly, this collection is mostly greens and purples, which it's right up my alley. Okay, so it's kind of like a light, cool-toned lilac purple shift. Oh, you can really see that shift in the camera. On more of like a gray, dusty purple black base. Super interested to see how this swatches. Oh, that's really pretty. And so far, I'm thinking these will be very good for autumn winter nails. So RM14, I think you can probably tell by the bottle, this is more of a brighter tone. I think this is the cool toned one. I've looked at the swatches of these a lot because I'm currently designing my set. But you know, nothing beats your eyes in person. Oh my God, okay, she's the moment. That's so pretty. You can see that on camera. That color is pulling through so beautifully. It really is just like a striking blue base with like a light blue shift. Oh, this one, she's gorgeous. RM15, again, moving into more of the purple tones. Oh, that's super pretty. Okay, it's very similar to RM13, but a bit of a blacker base, and the purple shimmer is a bit more of a deep purple, kind of like a medium purple rather than a light purple. RM16, this is like a lilac-y kind of pinky purple. This one, also one that I'm very excited about. Oh yes, that's really, really pretty. That is super, super pretty. I feel like it's reminding me of something that I own, but I actually don't think it is similar to anything that I own. I think my mind is just making tricks on me. That's really pretty. If they sell singles, I could see this being one of the more popular singles. Really just like a true pink purple. It's definitely a purple, but it's a pinkier purple. And the shimmer really does just look like a lighter version of the base tone. That one's really, really pretty. RM17, I feel like this is one of the leading gels of the collection. This one is striking. It's gorgeous. I'm so excited. Let's see what it looks like in real life, because the promo photos for this are amazing. I'll put in an image. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that is pulling what it pulls in the promo photos. That's striking. I think this is on a purple base, even though it's looking very blue and black here. I do have a feeling they've put in so many magnetic pearls into these gels that you're only really going to see the true base when you magnetize it. Gorgeous, bright blue cateye. But I definitely can see the purple shift to the base. RM18, this is the one that I am the most excited about. It is a blue base with a green shift to it, and I just love blue and green together so much. I made a butterfly nails in 2024. I love this combo. I try not to do it too much because I love it so much. Oh, okay. Yep. That one's gorgeous. I could see this being perfect for ocean core, but also just any kind of gemstone set where you want a lot of dimension, because look at that. It is an aqua kind of blue base with a blue-green cateye, but then the cateye pulls quite green in the images. That is stunning. Wow. So, so pretty. RM19, so this is a little bit more of a blue one. That's actually really pretty. Okay, it's kind of like a denim blue. Does that make sense? This is the kind of color where if you were going for kind of like a denim set, this is the one that matches it. I don't know. Is that a weird comparison, like gemstones and denim? But it's more of like a cool toned, medium, standard blue. And I really like the tone of the blue on this. Again, one that could be really nice for ocean nails. RM20, super interesting. You can see on the bottle, it's pulling like a light baby blue, but I think in the images, this is more of a green. Okay, that's really interesting. It's not green or blue. It is in between. It's kind of like a baby seafoam color. I don't know if that makes sense. That's actually quite unique. I don't think I see this color that often. And the pearls in this one they look white, but they may be a lighter version of the base color. That one is very pretty. Gorgeous for winter nails as well, I think. RM21, ooh. That's really nice. That's really unique. A green yellow. That's actually very pretty. I feel like this color could go wrong very easily, but this is actually a very nice rendition of this tone. Again, similar in that the pearls are either white or like a light variation of the base color. And the last one, RM22, as you can see, is more of like a white one. Ooh, that's really pretty. This is kind of like a gray, slightly murky grayish white. It's not stark white. It is kind of more like, you know, like if you were to pick up a stone I'll put in an image of what I'm thinking. Like it's not pure white or silver, which I actually really appreciate. That's very nice. And again, the pearls on this one are, I'm pretty sure they're like a white, creamy tone. I'm so glad that I've seen them in person now, and I'm so excited to swatch them. So the next collection I have to show you, also kindly gifted. Quite an interesting collection for me, something that I don't actually own anything similar to. It is the Blanc de Blue Mood On collection. And can we just take a moment to appreciate this packaging? Look how pretty this is. Just the attention on this box. And then it gets better, guys. I've never owned anything from Blanc de Blue before either, so this is like a whole experience for me. And you pull this out and just look at how pretty. That's gorgeous. Just like as a centerpiece. This fish style, like the way that this has been illustrated, so pretty. And then this is what it looks like. How gorgeous these. And then that's the other side. A 12-piece collection. And it's definitely a collection that's perfect for fall. I think this is their 2024 fall collection. Gorgeous, kind of like muted pastel shades and then muted deeper shades. These are all very opaque gels, which is something that I don't own in my collection. It's something that I've been eyeing for a while, actually. You know, for like using in stamping or painting flowers and then putting 3D gel on top of them. 201 Russian Blue. And I've never tried Blanc de Blue before. Oh, and also a note on these as well. Sweetie Nail Supply have recently updated their website to show which brands are available to the EU and Asia as well. And Blanc de Blue are now available in the EU, so you can purchase them if you live here. Oh, okay, she is opaque. I was not expecting that to be so much gel at the top, but this is how it looks. It really is just like a very pretty gray blue tone. I think this could work really well as like painting 3D flowers. Oh, very, very pretty. 202 Dusty Lilac. Again, a very, very pretty muted pink tone. Like I could see this working really nicely in something like my mermaid nails set, where you're mixing it in with like pink tones or like lighter pastels and then like layering like a 3D flower on top. Super pretty. Also could be really nice in molds if you want to do some like sweater nails with molds. 203 Lily Coral, orangey salmon tone, definitely like a coral tone. Very, very pretty. And so far I can see that these are probably going to work very nicely in molds or anything that you want to be super opaque, because there's like barely any skipping on any of this brush. You can see there's just color all the way through. 204 Milk Tea, which is also from the swatches, one that I'm very interested in. Oh, that's really nice. It's like a creamy brown neutral tone. It really does actually give the color of milk tea. 205 Green Tea. Green tea, matcha, anything this kind of tone, I love. I drink matcha every day. I drink hojicha every day. Also one note, if you get this collection, maybe it's the same for all Blanc de Blue, but these bottles are very stiff, so be careful. I mean, it's good because it means they're secured well, but just be careful when you open them. Ooh, very, very pretty. Okay, it's like a pastel, cool toned green. 206 Custard, which is, as you can tell by the bottle, kind of like just a very nice toned down yellow. I don't know if for some reason this tone is giving me like interior design vibes. Oh, very, very pretty. Literally the performance on every single one that I've opened so far, they all seem very, very opaque. 207 Dark Sky, which you can tell by the bottle is gorgeous deep blue. So it's a slightly warmer blue than on the bottle, but still very, very, very pretty. 208 Soft Night, purple, ashy, blue, gray tone. I also am like so curious how these would look if you mixed them with a clear gel and kind of like syrupified them. I don't know, we'll try it, we'll try it. 209 Drizzle. I'm guessing the vibe for this one is like pond water, rainwater kind of vibes. Muted, medium blue tone. Very, very pretty. Slightly green. Not green, but just like a green tinged blue. 210 Salty Caramel. Okay, it's like a mustard. Yeah, this is definitely like a mustard color. Perfect for autumn. 211 Woody Forest, which I love greens. This green is right up my alley. Like it's like a deep, yeah, that's definitely like a deep forest green. This is gorgeous. This is really nice. This would be perfect. You know, if you want to do like watercolor painting or anything like that, this would be such a nice tone. And then the last one, 212 Smoky Cherry. Ooh, okay. Yeah, it's like a pink cherry tone. Again, I think this could be really nice for autumnal purple pink flower sets. I also am so curious as well how these would work as blooming gel now. I feel like the more I'm looking at these, the more I'm getting some ideas of how I can use them. But if anybody else has any other ideas, please let me know in the comments. So that is the Mood On collection. Again, a huge thank you to Sweet Nail Supply for sending this to me, along with the Rozyhip Quartz collection. Okay, now moving on to single gels. I have a few boxes here. These are all DVOK. We love her. She is just an all-round great fan favorite brand. Oh my goodness, can we just appreciate these bottles? How pretty are these tones? So if you watched my previous haul video, you'll see that I picked up the DVOK 4 Seasons Summer collection. And guys, the spring was a very close runner-up for me, but I was trying to be restrained as possible because I have the Yogurt Nail Bunny Chew collection, which is already a collection of like 10 pastel shades. And also because I have the Once in a Summer Season 2 and 3, plus some of the singles from Season 1, I think there's quite a lot of overlap between the kind of syrup gels. After I swatch all of these, I will do comparisons and let you guys know how similar these may be. I picked up the yellow, a pink, orange, blue, and a green. I could not resist this green and this orange. DS33, which is gorgeous, kind of cool toned yellow syrup. Oh my goodness, that's really pretty. I always go to think that's really pretty, but that's exactly what I want from a yellow syrup. From initial glance, it does look a bit brighter and cool toned compared to the one in the Yogurt Nail Bunny Chew collection. Oh, I'm really glad I picked this up. And I also think these cooler toned pastels are actually very versatile because you could use them in spring, in winter. DS36, I really like this tone of pink. I think this will pair really nicely with the green. A purpley pink kind of tone. Okay, I think that was gonna be very similar to one of the ones from the Yogurt Nail Bunny Chew collection, but this looks a lot more pink to me than in the images. In the images, it looked more red, like a more of a reddy pink. So we'll see how this swatches, but definitely a staple, great pastel pink shade. DS40, this is the one that I could not resist. So honestly, I think it's quite hard to find a nice pastel orange tone, and I just trust DVOK to do it well. Okay, yes, that's exactly what you want in a pastel orange. They do have a lot of oranges in the Once in a Summer collections, but I find a lot of those are muted or syrupy or not as saturated when you actually paint it. So I'll be very interested to see how this compares, but from first glance, that's really pretty, and I honestly think that will be really cool for Halloween nails as well. Even I'm thinking like these two could pair together so beautifully. DS43, which is a pastel blue. Would you believe me if I said I don't actually think I own a pastel blue like this in my collection? Because the ones in the Bunny Chew collection are quite, one's like more of like a deeper denim blue, and then the other one is like a light sky blue. This one is more of like a true, okay, yeah. That's really, oh, that's really nice. Oh, I'm kind of annoyed because I feel like I'm gonna end up picking more of the singles up. I can just tell the consistency and the saturation and the syrupness of these is gonna be perfect. It is really just like a true aqua blue, not tinging so much to like a gray or a green. It's just a great blue. The one that I'm most excited for. If you know me, you know I love greens, especially these kind of like cooler limey greens. So this is DS44. I'm not so much a fan of mint greens. That's why I didn't pick up the other green that's in this collection. I don't think mint looks that great on my skin tone. Oh, that's very nice. That's very pretty. That's a really nice green tone. It's not verging onto like yellow or blue. It's just like a nice light green. Very flattering. I hope that this is quite saturated on the nail so that it doesn't kind of like dull the color. Because I found that with the green from the Once in a Summer Season 1 collection, it's quite transparent on the nail and cool toned. Oh, this is very, very nice. So my thought process is pairing this with the pink and then doing some sort of a lime pomegranate kind of fruit set. I'm clutching onto fruit nails. Any of you have got any of the spring collection or the whole collection? What are your favorite gels from it? Please let me know. And then one gel from Nailbayo Doi. This is my free gift from the summer sale. I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw this was the free gift because I had no idea. I think everybody received their first sale orders today, so Friday, if you placed it on the first day. And also just a note there, I placed this order on Monday this week and it arrived today on Friday to the UK. So shipping to the UK now is very quick if you pick the UPS Worldwide Expedited. But this is the Doi Tone Up Gel, assuming it's the glitter variation because it has a G here. Ooh, okay. That's actually very pretty. So it's a kind of like a creamy toned base. It has sparkles in it, and these sparkles appear to be white, orange, pink. They also refract a little bit into like a blue and a green. Hopefully you can see there. So they are pulling this kind of like warmer tones of glitter, but there is a little bit of multifacetedness to them. That's very pretty. And I could see this actually being very nice for autumn, just as a little bit of sparkle to spruce up your autumn sets. Actually very pleasantly surprised that this was the free gift, because it's also not something that I would probably buy initially for myself, because I usually veer towards cooler silver kind of tones. Sometimes I do have an itching to do like an orange brown set. I think this will be perfect for that. And then the last fun colored gel kind of product that I want to show you is from Cris Clay. I actually want to give away for her new Korean 3D gels. So the clear gel and then the milky white one, which I will cover in a moment. But she also kindly threw in one of her new CX Sky color changing cateye gels with it. But I've not looked at this yet either. All I know is that it's like the gray one. And how cute is this little bear? Oh my goodness. So this is the deep sea color, and this bottle is so fun. I feel like I've never seen a bottle this kind of shape and weight before. That's super cool. And also just a note on this is I do now also have a code for Cris Clay. If you're interested in picking anything up from her. Oh, wow. That's really, really cool. So this one, I think specifically, is a deep kind of black base with bright silver pearls on it, but then the base changes to a lighter silver when it's either hot or cold. So it alternates between them both. I'm very excited to use this. I think this would be perfect for kind of like Halloween style nails. I have an idea of like a monochrome white black set that I want to do, and I think this would be perfect for that. So again, thank you so much, Cris Clay, for the giveaway. Now we will move on to more of the special effects gels. First is the Cris Clay. These are two of her newer gels. They cure hard. They are made in Korea, and I believe they are HEMA and TPO free as well. Great for anybody that is now in Europe. But let's see how this looks. Oh, that is actually quite sticky. That's really interesting. That's a lot stringier than I was expecting for a 3D gel. I'm not sure if you can see that. Maybe it's just a film. Let me podge it a little bit. Oh, that's so fun. It seems it's like such a stringy consistency. I've never used a clear gel that is this kind of like stringy consistency. I hope you can see that okay. That's really cool. Oh, I'm very interested to work with this now. And then this is the milky white one. Oh, again, okay, so again, it has that kind of like stringy film consistency on it, more malleable. And I'm wondering if that contributes to it curing really hard. Wow, very interested. But yeah, this is, you can see, this one seems a bit stiffer, but still quite stringy. So you can pull it like this. And it is definitely like a syrupy, milky kind of white tone. Very interested. If anybody else has picked these up and you've used them so far, please let me know your thoughts on them. Oh, and whilst I'm just on the topic of 3D gels, I also want to add in a note. If you are going to be using 3D gels, please try and get into the habit of doing curing tests with them. Get a glob. Personally, I don't really go over that 3mm mark. Cure it for the recommended amount of time, and then cut it in half. And if it smells or it's soft, that can be an indicator that it's not cured properly. You can potentially look at longer curing times or a different lamp, just so that we all stay safe, because 3D gel is a bit more of a unique type of gel that we should make sure we are using it properly. I do have a full how to do 3D gel nails video where I go more in depth into sculpting gel, but this is something that I'm personally going to start doing moving forwards for myself. And I also always wear gloves when I'm working with any gel products, but especially 3D gel, and I use silicone tools. I don't mold it in my hands out of personal preference and because chemicals can seep through gloves over time. A lot more information in that sculpting video, but notice on safety here. Some other 3D gels that I recently added to my collection are the Gel and Gel Gummy Gels. Again, I have more information on these in that 3D sculpting video, so you can go there to see demos of how I made some Morphosan charms with them. But super cool, these are their 5-piece kind of basic initial set, so the 001 to 005. You get a white, black, pink, and then 2 browns, or like a brown and an orange, which are really cool because you can mix these, and then basically you can make any kind of range of tones that you want. And Gel and Gel sells so many different colorways of these as well as like some pearlescent ones, which I have been eyeing, I cannot lie. And for example, this is what the white one looks like. It's like a very opaque white, and just if I do a test, you can see it's quite stringy, very malleable, bit stiff at the same time. Very interesting consistency. Okay, now we are moving into more of the texture kind of gels. This one I'm very excited to share with you. It is the Agate Edition Candle by the Favori x Satoko. Anything the Favori does or touches is kind of like gold. Like it just turns to gold, right? So pretty. Their agate gels are so interesting, so unique. And this one specifically is more of like a wax. They always add so many components to their packaging, and I have long nails and it's not working. Okay, you can see there, this is how they kind of look. They're silver, so they're reflecting a lot, my apologies. It is a 6-piece collection of these very interesting texture gels, and these are a bit more of a muted collection. I think their first edition of these were a bit more syrupy saturated tones. Firstly, milk, which I initially thought was like a white. From all of the images I've seen people use this with, but it's not. It's actually more of a beige cream. Yeah, you can definitely see that tone there. In comparison with my glove, it's not a white. Initially, I was a bit like, oh, because I wanted something that was white for these nails specifically, but I'm happy. I think I'm gonna repurpose this for something a bit more spooky, Halloween-y going forward, so it works out. But if anybody is considering this collection, just a note there, this is not a pure white, a bit more of a creamy color. Then we have Latte, which, as the name suggests, is like a brown mocha color. If I show you this in comparison with milk, you'll see they are different. Latte, a bit more gray, but they're both cool toned in a way. Obviously, I want to show you how this looks consistency wise, but I wanted to do it with a bit of a deeper one. So you can see it's like podgy. I think that is the word I would use to describe this, like podgy and a bit stiff as well. Like you can see there is some tension there when I'm pulling it up. And then when you lay it down, you can get these really cool peaks. If I show you that there. Really cool peaks. You can also like kind of lay it and just maneuver the gel in very interesting ways. I'm very excited to use these. I know Favori have a lot of different textured gels like this. I don't know if all of the agate ones are this kind of consistency. If anybody knows, please let me know. Sea salt, which is like a blue kind of tone. Super pretty. Look at that. That's gorgeous. It's like really, really nice muted gray blue. Perfect for anything autumn, like an autumn blue. This is a perfect autumn blue. If anybody is interested in this collection, I think now would be a great time to pick it up as we go into autumn and winter. Licorice, which is kind of like the black, deep tone. I don't think this pulls truly black when it is swatched. Let's test it, shall we? I don't know, can you see that? And then, okay, so I would say it's mostly black. Maybe if anything, just a little bit of like a smokier, very, very deep gray. Oh, this is really pretty. I might repurpose this. This could be really good, especially as like in that monochrome. Ooh, now I'm thinking, if I use this in like a monochrome black set, that could be really cool as like adding in some fun texture. Because I feel like if you're gonna do a monochrome set in some way, you can also take it as your chance to play around with texture. Then we have Oolong, which is kind of like a warm brown. Okay, as you can see there, that is super deep. It's like kind of like a reddy brown tone there. But then in the jar, it definitely looks cool toned. But yeah, definitely reddy brown, very autumnal. And lastly, red velvet. Honestly, a gorgeous color, but I've never been a huge fan of red velvet cake. I don't know, I think it's the cream cheese frosting. I'm not really a cake person, honestly, or a sweets person, or an ice cream person. I just like chocolate. Specifically, Milky Bar white chocolate. If you're British, then you know, and pistachio chocolate. But I'm so curious, what is everybody else's favorite sweet treats, cakes, things like that? It's just like a very deep red color. Honestly, perfect for some kind of like bloody Halloween nails, which is also something I might do. I've been thinking of claw nails recently a lot, and I'm thinking this could be so cool with claw nails. But too many ideas and not enough time, guys. Such is life. So that is the Agate Candle edition. I just need to find my go-to design for using these, and I think I'll get so much use out of them. Next, in terms of texture gel kind of things, I have two kind of 3D Embo gels here. Very cool ones. I did use this Popo White in these nails actually. For example, on this nail here, I used the Since to make like a matte butterfly in a 3D mold. No top coat whatsoever. And the same on this nail here. I did look online. I read on one of the retailer websites that it is non-wipe. I couldn't find that information specifically outlined on the Since Instagram, but I am like 90% sure it's non-wipe because it dries down to like a really nice matte tone. But the Popo White one, it's like this. It reminds me a lot of the Jello zigzag gel in the Ember White color, which I had to declutter because it was expired. So I'm really happy that I have this, and it's in a pot. So if you use a brush, you can just kind of like scoop up as much as you want. I'll put in the footage when I used it for this 3D butterfly, but you can basically just scoop up the amount as you want and input it into the molds, and it kind of self-levels into itself very nicely, but it's quite forgiving and it has a lot of nice structure to it. So I'm very pleasantly surprised. And you can also put chrome directly on top of this, specifically the black one. Now, I feel it's probably pretty common knowledge, but if you're not aware, usually if you want to have a really striking chrome, then you can put it on top of a black and it will just make everything pop. Whereas sometimes when you put chrome on top of white, it gives like more of a brighter white appearance. And I have a safety seal on it. Oh, guys, actually, I'm putting my thicker gloves on for this just because it is very temperamental. I want you guys just to know, if you are going to pick these up, this safety seal is can be super tough and difficult. You see what I just did there, where it's kind of like, it's very prone to accidents. So just be careful if you're gonna get these gels. That is what the black one looks like. Bit of a stringy consistency, a bit syrupy as well. So this does remind me a lot of the Jello zigzag in the black gel as well. I think you can also see that in the lid. It's kind of like a jelly transparent. I think it can be really versatile. Expect to see these a lot going forwards. I'm definitely keeping an eye on Since from now on as well. Next kind of item, and I believe the last item for texture kind of gels, is a super interesting one. Can we just appreciate this packaging? It's so fun. This is the first thing that I've also bought from Myth Millow before. I've been eyeing up Myth Millow a lot recently. I know they came out with the plumping collection, which looks so pretty, but because I have the Silky Dew, I'm like, no, I cannot. Maybe it's just, okay. Well, you're supposed to open it like that. This is the Greedy Cake Gel. I picked up primarily for character face art because I do have the DVOK Vanta White and Vanta Black, but those are a bit of a thinner consistency. They don't paint on super opaque when you're wanting to do fine details. And this is how this looks. Oh my God, look at that. That's gorgeous. Wow. Those tones. This in specific is a palette of the perfect tones. So a white, black, a deep kind of brown, and then a lighter tan brown. They can basically use to draw faces or even line art. And I did look on the Instagram and I saw them apply chrome on top of this. So I'm gonna do a chrome test in one of my future sets. Because if this chromes, that's gonna be a game changer. If I just have like a super opaque gel that can just like paint on evenly, and then, you know, like abstract line art, line work, expect to see this a lot going forwards. This may potentially be surprising, but I don't actually own really many multi-purpose white or black liners. All I have is the Cocoa's Thick White and Thick Black, which are thick. Sometimes they don't paint smoothly. Like I don't have the Nailbayo or the More, or any of the like popular liners. So I'm gonna give this a try first and see how I go with it, and I'll report back. And how satisfying was that? It reminds me of like your 2000s flip phone. To round out this section, I'm just gonna cover a couple of clear gels before we move on to more nail art supplies. So I did pick up the Jewel Crystal Clear Gel from Korea. I am currently using their peel off base gel, the green one, but I picked this up basically as a base gel that I can just apply to my natural nail to kind of help protect my nail and keep it strong and stop it from breaking all the time when I'm not wearing anything on them. And then as for another clear gel, I did also pick up the Power Fix Gel by Le Hua. Unfortunately, this did leak when it arrived. Didn't really extend outside of the box, but you can probably see I've tried to clean it up as much as possible beyond just putting it in my lamp. It still works, but honestly, because this gel is so sticky, it was a bit of like a unfortunate thing that this specific gel leaked, you know? But this is basically a really, really good gel for fixing parts. It's working really well so far. I really like it, no complaints. I personally also really like it because it is HEMA-free, TPO-free, and where I can make these swaps in my collection, I will be choosing to purchase things that are HEMA-free and TPO-free going forwards. Okay, next we're going to be moving on to nail art supplies. Not too many things, but I do excitedly have 2 ink collections to show you. Since doing my more favorites fruit nails where I used inks, I've really been digging inks recently as like an easy but effective way to do like a base design to a nail or like just spruce up a nail. Again, I've been on a bit of a Favori kick recently, I will not lie. The first one is the Bling Ink 2 edition, and this collection comes with like a gorgeous, cute little like pink pastel bag with a ribbon. I'll put the image in of what it looks like. At the moment on Sweet Nail Supply, it also comes with a 6th one as well. I think they call it the Bling Beige, but it's just really unique. It doesn't really look that beige to me. It's kind of like a autumnal pink purple tone. And this one has a super electric purple kind of like shimmer to it. Very, very interesting. Super, super interesting. And I know this is like a bonus one right now. I don't know if it will continue to be a bonus or if this is limited time. This is how they all look out of the boxes, not blingified. But yeah, just as a comparison, this is how the beige tone sits in between the red and the purple. Maybe I just have to like shake them so much, you know? One thing I have noticed with the Favori actually, with their glitter inks, you have to be so quick with working with them to get the inks up. If anybody has any hacks for keeping the glitter there a little longer, please let me know. But Bold Lemon is definitely kind of like a true lemon base. And then all of them appear to have the same sparkle in them. So it's like an electric blue, purple and pink mix. I know that's really difficult to show you guys because of how the glare is. But there, do you see that? Very, very pretty tone of yellow as well. Water green, it's giving like bad matcha. You know, like if you went to a cafe and your matcha was served and it was this color, don't go back to that cafe. They don't make good matcha. But the color itself is really, really pretty. It's exactly like a water green. This is, oh, I think you can see there. That is kind of the shimmer shift that you'll get on these. It's like an electric blue, purple and pink. Yeah, I think what's happening is it's settling all the way to the back. So I'm gonna zoom in even more just so that you can see. You can see that? I think you can see it a lot better against the green. Then if I put you on the side, this is like blue, purple and pink, like an icy tones in the glitter. And I believe this is the same glitter that's in every one. But just a note you can see here, it's falling to the bottom quite quickly. So if you're gonna get these, be quite quick with them. Swan Blue and Of Purple. Swan Blue, a gorgeous kind of like dusty, muted blue tone. Oh. I don't think there's balls in this one. Oh, okay, they just got stuck. Lol, troubleshooting inks. And you can see same pearls. This one, very, very pretty. Of Purple. Finale Peach. It's like a reddy brick color, but I'm sure when it's actually painted, it will be lighter. So then you can see the base tone, same kind of blingy glitter in that. And then this is Glow Beige. Same glitter in this one as well. So all in all, a very, very pretty collection. I'm very excited to use these. I do think there's a little bit of a learning curve to using inks with glitter. You need to be a bit quicker with them just because the particles tend to settle very quickly, which is sometimes what you want. If you, for example, if you just wanted this green tone, you could just let the particles settle and then whatever you pick up on the brush is probably just going to be the green tone. Stay tuned. I will be using these in some autumn sets going forwards. The other ink collection that I picked up is also from the Favori, but it is a 9-piece one, as you can see here. And this is the satin edition, so the satin #1 edition, because I do not have any satin inks and I'm really trying to get more into inks. And I just love the kind of satiny sheen that these give. Obviously it's in the name. This is a 9-piece collection. They arrived like this, like no other additional box or packaging. I'll put the image in of what they look like, but we have some kind of white pinky tones and then yellow, blue, green tones. I always find inks very deceptive in the bottles because they look so deep, but then when you actually paint them, they give such a sheer lighter tone. So this is what the first 3 look like, not shaken up. We have Angel White, Ballerina Pink, and Lover Purple. And then when we shake them up, this is kind of the effect that they are giving. You can see the slight satin shimmeriness does pull through in these. And you can see it's kind of, yeah, it's all aggregating to the bottom here, but it does appear to be the same white satin shimmer in each one. That's super, super pretty. You can see there as well. So they definitely do lighten up a lot. Oh my goodness, these tones are gorgeous. I definitely am gonna be using this white one a lot, I just know it. Next, we have more of the reddy, orangey, yellow tones. So we have High Teen Pink, Dewey Peach, and Lemon Dill. What interesting names. This is how they look when they have not been mixed. And then when they have been given a little bit of a mix, you can see that shimmer pulling through, the same kind of white shimmer on each one, but it does brighten the depth of the ink underneath as well. Likewise on the back. Because I'm very curious, this is how the 2 pink tones compare to each other. So they actually look, when you mix the satin in, quite similar, but there is a slight difference in the depth there. And then these are the last 3. So we have Mimi Blue, Misty Aqua, and Flow Mint. Not mixed. Again, the same white satin, and this is how they look mixed. Very pretty. I am immediately drawn to this Misty Aqua tone. That's very nice. I do like the green one as well. I'll be very interested to see kind of what pastel tone or lightness this green one gives on the nail. And then on the back as well. And then this is how they all look together. Oh my God, that is such a beautiful sight. Wow. If I show you them even like a little bit closer to the light, you can see that. Gorgeous. And then I just shook them up a little bit, so hopefully you can see there as well. They do also have a second version of the satin inks, but they're a bit more muted. I just thought these would be perfect for my use case. I love more colorful sets anyway, rather than kind of muted sets. The one reason why I'm trying to get more into inks as well is because they don't expire. Obviously gel products do have a expiry date on them, which is usually 2 years from opening, but please always check the specific guidelines of the product that you're purchasing. But for things like, you know, powders, alcohol inks, charms, they don't expire. At least I don't believe alcohol inks expire. The Favori inks are pricey, but for that reason, I thought that they would be a good investment to make. And for the sake of comparisons, I'll show you the 2 collections next to each other. The Bling inks here, and then the satin edition here. You can see the 2 yellow tones are very similar. It's very difficult to capture the sparkle of the Bling inks on camera, but it's the finishes that are different. These are the kind of pink purple tones, the 2 Bling inks, and then the satin one. So this is of purple, and then Ballerina Pink and High Teen Pink, Finale Peach and Dewey Peach. I think this is Dewy Peach, but maybe there's a typo on my bottle. They are quite similar base tones, but none of them are the same. And then mixed, all slightly different finishes, as you can see there. And also for the blues, this is Swan Blue from the Bling ink with Mimi Blue, Misty Aqua, and then Lover Purple. You can see none of these tones are remotely the same. And this is how the finishes compare on the two blue shades. So yeah, definitely unique. I think I'll likely make more use of the satin ones, but where fits, I'm definitely going to be using the Bling inks. And then the last nail art item before we move on to tools is the Diamete Cat Meat Powder in Violet. Is a powder, a cateye powder that you can mix into any kind of mixing gel, clear gel, or even a color gel if you wanted, to create a cateye effect, and it also doubles up as a chrome powder, which is so cool. I use this as the purple in this set, all of this purple here in this cateye. So you can see it's like a super blinding white kind of cateye. So pretty, and this is mattified. Same here, and then also here. And then this is what it looks like as a chrome powder too, on like a gray base, pretty silvery purple tone. And I did experiment with putting it on a bit of a pinker base on this nail, and it did turn a little bit pinker in comparison. The base tone is so faint, but you can see there's a slight difference. Feel free to go and watch the nail video on how I made these nails if you want to see it in action, but it's so pretty. There is 5 in this set. I only picked up 1 because I was trying to be restrained. I may go back and pick up another 1 or another 2. There is a yellow, green, blue, pink, and violet, but this is how it looks. It's literally just a striking, cool-toned lilac tone. You can see on the lid there as well. When it magnetizes, it gives off a really striking white color. Just a note on this, if you're going to pick it up and you want to layer it on top of a gel, it will darken the tone of the gel underneath, which sometimes is what you want, but overall you get a gorgeous effect with this. It's kind of like a flash eye cateye, so very bright and sparkly. There isn't really that many things like this available to us in the West yet, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on. If they release a silver one, I will let you guys know, and I will be trying it. Moving on from nail art supplies, but still related, we're going to be covering tools now. I recently picked up the Diamete cone tool. This is how it looks. I did cover this also in my 3D sculpting video. I really like this. It's a very unique cone shape. You can see it's a lot thinner, like it tapers into a thinner point, which I find very nice if you're going to do something like 3D flowers, where you want to kind of like push in a very specific area, but then not widen it too much, kind of like a standard silicone tool might do. Silicone tools are my preferred tools for working with anything 3D clay related. Definitely recommend something you could look at picking up if you are interested in 3D sculpting. Again, some other kind of like miscellaneous 3D sculpting related stuff. I picked up a bunch of these stamps from Amazon. I did actually use these in this nail set as well. For example, here, there is a butterfly stamp, which I stamped out and then put on as just some fun texture. Make the base a bit more fun. And I also did it on this nail here as well. I think it could be a really cool design to do on like a matte nails. They essentially are just these stamps which come in a bunch of shapes on the side, and you can use these with paint. So like, for example, if you wanted to stick this into like an opaque gel and then paint a shape on the nail, you could do it that way. But I have been seeing in the Korean nail industry recently quite a few nail techs using these to stamp into 3D gel, usually all over the nail, but also like a wax seal. And I also used this, the butterfly one specifically, to put like some butterfly texture on these nails. So I'm very interested in some other ways I can kind of use these as like an easy but effective way to jazz up some 3D gel. Tools wise, I also picked up the Dust Out Jumbo brush from Diamete. It looks like this. It is just honestly a huge wooden brush. Okay, so it's very stiff but soft, you know? Stiff but soft. Like, I feel like it will have good pressure to it to dust without kind of like moving anything around. I got this one because the normal like kind of toothbrush shaped and sized one was out of stock, but now back in stock, or it should be. When I'm filming this, it is in stock. I don't know if it's going to sell out by Sunday, but I may pick that one up as well. But I wanted to get this primarily just to dust any filing off from my tips when I prep them before my sets, because the current brush I've been using is this fluffy one, but it's too soft. You see these bristles? Like, these bristles are way too soft, whereas this one is like still soft, but it has a nice pressure to it. So I'm hoping this will be perfect for dusting off all of those filings. I'll keep you updated in my next nail set. Now we can move on to the repurchases section because the rest of the tools are all repurchases. First one, as you can see, Jello gradation brush. Also, I've seen so many of you guys pick this up in your Sweet Nail Supply 25% off sale hauls, so it makes me so happy. I hope all of you love this brush. Please let me know your thoughts on it when you start using it. I love this brush. I picked up 2 more of them, so now I own 4. That may be overkill, it's not, because I'm usually blending together like 4 or 5 colors in a set, and I don't want so much crossover between the colors, so it just helps with my speed and my efficiency. Is probably my #1 brush. I will continue to recommend it, but one thing I do want to highlight, so this one here, one of my original brushes that I bought in 2024, and then this is one of my new ones. You can see it has slightly changed. Even like the brush length has slightly differed a little bit, but just something to note, if you receive this and it looks a little different, I guess they slightly upgraded or changed the brush, however you want to look at it. From a bird's eye view, they both still kind of have the same angle on them. Potentially the top one is a little bit more slanted, but honestly I think it's very similar. I haven't noticed much of a difference. I'll still be using the new ones in my sets going forward, so if my thoughts change on it, I'll keep you updated. I did want to just highlight that. It's one of those things, right? Like, I understand brands changing something to make it better, but when you love something and then a brand changes it, it's also a bit like, a bit of hesitation, you know? How's it gonna work? The one thing I would say with either of these brushes is to get the best out of them, use them with a syrup gel and go with a light hand, like a light pressure in a stippling motion to kind of feather the colors together rather than being very heavy-handed. A couple of other repurchases, because I find repurchases so interesting because this really shows you what somebody loves if they're willing to rebuy it. Basic one, the 150 grit from Daemi, just for my tips preparation. I also picked up the 180 grit. I feel like it's just good, you know, to have 100, 150, 180, 240. And if anybody is unfamiliar with grit amounts, essentially the lower the number, the rougher the filing. So 100 is your roughest or harshest, and then 240 is your softest or like kind of finest file. I like 150 for tips because it's kind of in the middle. Effective, but not too effective. And then similarly, the brush clean gel from Jello. This is an expensive brush clean gel. I will be honest with you, but I love it. I love it so much. I am sucked in. I will keep repurchasing it. If anybody has any recommendations for other brush clean gels that you like, please let me know. Or if anybody has used this and the Cocoist one, please let me know your thoughts on the Cocoist one, because I know that that one's slightly cheaper, but I'm a bit hesitant to buy it because I know I love this one and they're both a bit pricey, you know? I completely used up my first one. I started using my first one in November, so it's lasted me 9 months. Admittedly, I could probably use less. I'm a bit generous. I'm gonna be a bit more conscious of the amount that I'm pumping with this from now on, but it is a gel which doesn't have any curing agent in it. So obviously still make sure you don't touch this with your skin, but it's a nice kind of like hand sanitizer kind of consistency. It cleans my brushes and it keeps them soft and nice, and I love it. If you're gonna invest in good brushes, please invest in a good brush cleaner so that you can look after the expensive brushes. One final repurchase is the Daemi corn tips in clear. If anybody's familiar with this box, they've changed it. It used to be like a pink and orange packaging vibe. I'm hoping it's just the packaging that's changed and nothing in the actual tips have changed. I have whipped out 2 of them. So this is the new one. This is the existing original one. So let's see, and they're both in size 6. So if I put the original on top, let's kind of see how they line up. I don't know if you can see that. I think that they are slightly different tips. Can you see how the numbers have layered over each other differently? But I think in terms of like the curve looks the same. The length looks the same as well. So I think maybe it's just a difference in where the placement of the number is. But yeah, these brands changing the packaging, always giving me a little bit of a fright, I can't lie. But I think that the tips are pretty much the same. Once I don't have these nails on, I can check. But other than that, they mostly look the same to me. The only thing is the numbers are a little different, but the length is the same. And even if the shape maybe looks slightly different as well, I feel like once it's painted, it will look the same. So yeah, just a note on these as a repurchase. They are my new favorite nail tips. I used them for this set. I love them. It was a bit of an adjustment initially going into a longer set, but now I love having this length of nails and I feel like I've adjusted to it very well. I did also pick up a refill bag of the corn tips. I do like the corn tips because I think they sell refills in literally every size, which is super useful. They don't just limit it to like the middle ranges. I use 6.5 in both my index and ring, so I go through this one a lot more. And then to round out everything, it's been a long filming session for me. I hope you have enjoyed watching so far. But I also picked up the Alder Soft Bond nail glue. I didn't use this for these nails because my thought process is I want to do a clear peel-off base gel wear test first with my Lucanus pudding nail glue. We can kind of get the results of how these last. And then I will do my next nail set test using the Alder Soft Bond nail glue and the clear peel-off base gel. If anybody has used this, please let me know your initial thoughts on it below. It is essentially a thicker glue, although I have heard that it is a bit thinner of a thicker glue. Does that make sense? So I don't know how this will line up with the pudding glue. I'm not going to open it right now just because I do find glues tend to have a bit shorter of a lifespan once you open them, but stay tuned and I will keep you updated. It is supposed to be a bit of a thicker nail glue, but from what I've heard, it's not a super thick pudding kind of consistency like the Lucanus pudding nail glue that I use. I personally love using thicker nail glues because I have flat nail beds. I need a thicker glue that can kind of fill in that gap between the press-on curve and my natural nail bed, specifically for like my thumbnails and my index nails. Usually these three are a very flush fit. It's just these two problem children. So if you also have flatter nail bed and you have that problem, you probably do want to look into a thicker nail glue. Again, I will, once I test this out, you guys will know. Okay, time for outros and final thoughts. Don't really have too much to discuss in this outro. Question of the video would be, if you made an order during the Sweetie Nail Supply Summer Sale, what did you pick up and what was your free gift if you've got your order by now? Did we all get Nailbayo things? Because I'm really curious about that. As always, links to everything shown in the video will be in the description, along with any of my discount codes if you'd like to support the channel. Thank you so much if you do choose to use those. You can also follow me on Instagram for ongoing behind the scenes content, and I'm very responsive to DMs and comments, so feel free to message me if you have questions on anything. If you like the video, then give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more gel nails content like this, and to be notified of when my nail desk organization video goes next, and AliExpress nail charm haul, along with the Korea peel-off wear test, but also my next nail set, which I'm currently designing. If you guys stay to the end of this video, then I'll give you a little sneak peek, shall I? Okay, hear me out. We're thinking cat's eye, Monster High, Cyber Sigilism nails using the Rozyhip quartz collection. I'm still designing it, but here is a little sneak peek. Oh, that's all you're getting. But I just love the outfits. I love the outfits. And I want to use as many of the colors from the Rozyhip quartz collection as possible because these blue, green, and purple tones, oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. They are stunning. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye.